Good morning. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dave's Shop. I'm Dave and it's Morning Coffee Talk Live. So grab your coffee, bring your conversation, and we're going to do a little car trivia today. All right, there you go. Hey Nicole, how you doing this morning? Good morning. Got your coffee handy. I'm just giving everybody a minute or two to kind of get notification, grab their coffee and a place to sit down or whatever they got to do so we can get fired up and started. It is definitely going to be a hot summer, I can tell. It's already warming up. It's actually about 80 degrees in the office this morning. But I'm working fast and furious on the new spot out in the shop. It's just, it's kind of like you get into a project and, something that you think is going to be easy is never easy. You're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, forgot about that. Oh, this is going to be a problem. We got to do this. So it just keeps adding to the workload. But I spent most of the day, started working on the project about 10 o'clock yesterday morning. And I finally finished up about 5:30. I stopped at 5:30, came in, had some dinner, and then went back out and worked till like 10 o'clock last night for 3 or 4 hours to prep for some stuff for today. So, and I'm trying to I'm supposed to pick up an air conditioner on Thursday. I bought it through Lowe's because they had the best price and supposedly they had them in stock, but how about this? It wasn't even March yet. So what was it, like the end of February, and Lowe's had probably 10 window units on the shelf, and they said, that's it. They're done for the year. They weren't going to stock anymore. How about that? Britt, good morning. How you doing this morning? So anyway, I thought we'd play maybe some car trivia. I had some car trivia questions. I thought, oh, these are pretty good. So I thought we'd do a little bit of that and have a coffee and talk about anything else ever wants to chit chat about. It's Wednesday though. I'm gonna say, am I early? Well, it's only 6:04, so I get it. There we go. Corden, how you doing this morning on YouTube? Appreciate you joining us. And then I've got some other ideas. I want to see something. Can I? So you know how we've been talking about, I've been thanking everybody about gifts and super chats and all of that. I mean, just how that's a real benefit. I'm trying to figure out if during a live, I can, like if you give me a gift, could I give you one back? And I bet there's a way to do it. I'm just not sure. I'm looking to see. Let me look here. While we're waiting for everybody to wake up this morning, grab their coffee. Cordon, where are you from? Britt, where are you from? So just since I hadn't seen either one of you here before, thank you for joining. And don't gotta thank me. Just talk and laugh. There you go. Good deal. Thanks for the hearts there, buddy. I appreciate that. Baron Maker 1755. Hello, all the way from Ohio. What's the weather there in Ohio this morning? I think it's like 75 outside already here in Central Texas. I'm telling you, spring is, or summer, spring, summer, we don't really get much of a spring. It's usually just, it goes from being cool to hot. But I mean, our grass is already greening up. I have a Texas mountain laurel. I don't know if you've ever seen a Texas mountain laurel, but it's already blooming. So I believe winter here is done. However, I know the East Coast and they're still getting some snow and stuff. Anyway, I don't know. Absolutely. Anyway, so today, hey, Jason, how's it going? Robin, good morning. Big Texas. All right. Well, if you're in Texas, Robin, you know it's summer's probably right around the corner. We definitely had what I call an early spring. And I mean, you say spring, but we've been having some in Central Texas. It's been 85, 88, 89. That's for Texas, I guess that would be our spring weather, but you just never know. Not far from me. All right. Well, I'm in Pflugerville, so I know there's some people in Austin, people that live in Round Rock join us, and all over Waco, Belton, all that fun stuff. Speaking of Coppers Cove, oh yeah, you're just right down the road, up west of Killeen. All right. I used to go on Fort Hood, before 9/11. I was in the coffee business at the time, and Fort Hood was one of my customers. You could just drive on the base and go to all the banks and buildings, and didn't have to have any security checks or anything. And boy, it's sure not like that anymore. Yeah, the Texas heat is crazy, and that's why I'm kind of working fast and furious on the shop and getting it insulated and getting an air conditioner installed in there, because this summer it's going to be a big deal. I mean, this garage, even with the garage door open, a lot of times it'll be 95, 96 degrees in the garage. Like now in the mornings, it's definitely a little cooler, but it could definitely be, a lot of times it's 90 degrees and the humidity's, 50 or 60%, which can make it kind of uncomfortable. So Tigger bites, Tigger bitties. I like shouting. You like shouting at rocks. Oh, hey, looky there. Oh, what's the icon there? Are you from Tigger? Are you from New Braunfels, San Marcos, down around that area? I just noticed that you have the beaver. Thank you for joining the fan club, everybody. Good morning. So just as a quick reminder, let's just we'll start off with the giveaway we're doing currently. We're giving away, or I'm not giving away, Super Clean is sponsoring a giveaway. All you have to be is 18, live in the United States, no purchase necessary, and you have to send me an email to davesshop2@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in super clean. That's all you got to do to enter. It's free. And what'll happen is we're taking entries all the way till next Wednesday at 12 o'clock noon Central Standard Time. That'll be the cutoff. So if you're interested in getting a chance to win some Super Clean and have it shipped directly to you from Super Clean, the last couple of giveaways were stuff that I sponsored and I shipped. But this will actually be shipped directly from Super Clean. So if your name's drawn, I'll gather your information, send it to Super Clean, and they will ship a can of the spray and a 32-ounce bottle of the original Super Clean. And this is a concentrate, so it can be diluted depending on what you use it for. And you can use it for stains on your laundry, oil stains on your concrete, clean your engine. They make, I don't have one to show you, but they do make a wheel cleaner for your car. They make this one right here. It's a foaming cleaner, great for like your the kitchen, the stove, your bathroom, your showers. I really like it on the shower walls because you can wet those shower walls a little bit and spray some of that on there. Man, it just cuts through the soap and all that fun stuff. Anyway, that giveaway is happening on Thursday, March the 12th is when we'll actually draw for that. So everybody make sure, like I said, no purchase necessary. You do have to be 18 and live in the United States. But send me an email to daveshop2@gmail.com. In the subject line, type in Super Clean. We've already given away a wireless headset, a stud finder, a pocket knife, and you know, I can't tell you what all might come up in the future. Oh yeah, I love Buc-ee's. Their chopped beef barbecue sandwiches, they are really good. Do you like the Buc-ee nuggets? I'm not real crazy about them, but the kids like them. Good morning. Skippy, what up? How you doing this morning? Jonathan Jackson 16. How do you get the giveaway? How do you get the giveaway? It'll be shipped to you directly. So how that works is when you send me the email, the initial email to for the drawing, Jonathan, is you'll send it to Dave's shop @gmail.com. And you just need to include your first and last name. And then when we draw for it, if you win, then I'll send you a second email getting your ship to information and a contact phone number. That will be sent directly to Super Clean, and then they'll handle the shipping directly from the factory. And they're located in Minnesota. Great company. I mean, I've been dealing with them for 2 or 3 years. Super nice people. U.S. based company. I mean, it's definitely a company to get behind. I even asked if they would like to sponsor the show, but at this point they don't really sponsor shows, but they will sponsor giveaways. And I mean, think about that. There's a lot of the first 3 items. I was the sponsor. I gave them away. They were items that I had reviewed, and I mean, I'm fortunate. Those items were given to me as an affiliate to do a review on, but I did the review and then I took care of the freight shipping them. But in this case, since Super Clean is sponsoring the giveaway, they will ship directly to you, and they put some brochures and stuff in, I believe. Which is all good information. So that's how you enter the contest. Thanks for the hearts. Good morning, Ed. How you doing? Keith says, how's your day going? It's going good so far. Hey, so this morning, I just kind of want to get away from the politics stuff. So I wanted to talk about something different. And so what I thought we might do today is just kind of some general trivia questions about cars. Somebody, a guest on the show, either yesterday or the day before, said, "Hey, let's talk about old cars or history of old cars or something like that." And I thought, wow, that's great. Hey, Ed, and so everybody, just so you know, Ed's on TikTok. He is a longtime supporter. He's a Lutheran minister, podcaster, radio host at one time when he was in college. But he has a podcast called Reflections, and season 6 fixing to come out. I shared a lot of those. I shared with probably, I don't know, a bunch of people last night that were on my list that March. Ed, remind me of the date. When's it actually going to drop? Season 6. When's the first episode drop? In March something. But anyway, that podcast is on Apple Music. Link in the bio. Episode 1 is actually dropped. I thought he said March. Was that today? March the 4th. I think it did say March 4th. Anyway, I shared it with a bunch of people on TikTok. So if you haven't listened to any of those podcasts, go check them out. They're on Apple Music and Spotify. Okay. All right. Take them off edges. Anyway, he's got some really good guests on there. If you like podcasts, that's a good one to do. Okay, so today, let me see here. What was I going to ask? I'm sorry, I'm just glancing at some of my notes here. Where's mine? Okay, here we go. All right, so here's the first one I want to ask everybody. Yeah, Keith, my day's going good. Hey, and again, I want to tell everybody I'm taking for the new office or studio, whatever you want to call it. It's my shop out back that I've been working in and insulating. Yeah, also Reflection is on YouTube. Ed's on both TikTok and YouTube. More oil barrels on the ground in America in history. Next day, 50-cent gas in free. Oh, I know. I've heard everybody. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. But like I said, I wanted to talk about something other than, the Iran issue and the war. Yeah. Sometimes that just gets old, and I know some people really like talking about it, but today I thought we would do something different. So let me see here. Okay, so here's what I want everybody to do. You ready? First thing, we're going to use emojis. Everybody knows how to use emojis. You can use 3 emojis, and I want you to tell me or describe your morning to me using 3 emojis, and put them down in the comment section. Let's see what people come up with. And you can do it now or in a minute. We'll move on, but just think about that today. Think about your morning, and you can use 3 emojis and put them in the chat. I want to see how you describe your morning and your current mood using emojis. And so I have another question for you too while y'all are thinking about that. I haven't seen any emojis. I want to tell everybody thank you for all the gifts. They make a big difference, and I'm taking pictures of kind of the stages of the work that's being done out there in the office. Thanks for the super chats. If you're on YouTube, I appreciate that, and the gifts, and the sharing of the live and coming back and joining us. Because without all of those things are things that actually help support the channel, and I really appreciate that. So we're using the emojis to describe how you feel this morning. I haven't seen any pop up yet. Busy week, long week, and it's only Wednesday. I know. I was thinking that very same thing. You know, after I got off the live yesterday, I had to shoot some videos, and then about 10 o'clock, I started working out back on the shop on the insulating and doing stuff. And, you know, it's like anytime you get in a project, how there's things that always pop up that you go, oh, that was unexpected. And it usually means that it's going to cost a little more money. You're going to have to fix something else. You got to change something. So, yeah. And luckily outside my shop, I have about 5 years ago, I poured I don't know, 10 by 20 patio. So I had to basically unload a lot of stuff out of the shop so that I'd have room to work doing the insulation and putting up the walls and stuff. And so, yeah, it was a busy day. Worked till around 5:30, came in, had a little supper, sat down, cooled off for a bit, and then went back out. And I think I locked the door about 10:30 last night. So I came in, took a shower, went to bed. But it's exciting. It's coming along. All right. I'm going to do this. I think this will be funny. And I'm not prepared to do it this morning, but I'm going to get some, it's called The Price is Right. And I'm going to I'm going to get some grocery. Speaking of, I'll have to be a little better prepared, but we're going to play The Price is Right, and I'll have some items, and I'll show you the items, and then you'll get to guess what price it is. So I think that's something fun that we can do in the future. Okay, so here's a quick one. Hey, Steve Scuba. I like that. Hey, man, what's going on? Kelly Rosenthal just joined. Good morning. Thank you for joining. All right. So I want you to tell me one thing in the comments, and it doesn't have to be true. It could be true or false. You put it in the comments, and I'll guess if I think it's true or false. And let's see, Ed, you're on. We're gonna make Ed be the guinea pig. Ed, put something in the comments that about you, or something that is either true or false, and then we'll all guess what we think it is, and then I'll pick somebody else to do the next question. I mean, it's the same thing for everybody, but Ed's going to be the first person to put in the comments something true or false about yourself or something you've done. And then Nicole, after Ed, you could be thinking about your true or false statement, and we'll guess that. Okay, so here it is. Are y'all ready? So now you need to, just to preface this, because everybody doesn't know Ed like some of us do. Ed is a Lutheran minister in Northern Illinois. Okay, he's a podcaster, radio. He's got some experience in radio, and he's like up to his hiney and alligators most days. And his statement is that he has a tattoo on his left arm. Do y'all believe that? So put it in the comments if you think Ed has a tattoo on his left arm. Mowing God says he thinks it's true. Kelly says she thinks it's true. Ed can't lie. Well, it's not lying when if you, I don't look at it as a lie. We're playing a game. Anybody else? Come on. Somebody put something down in the chats. Do you think Ed has a tattoo on his left arm? Yes or no? Going. So more God says true. I don't think he does have a tattoo. He does. I mean, if he did, well, he could. I've known clergy that had tattoos, but I don't see him having a tattoo. Okay, Ed, tell us, do you have a tattoo on your left arm or not? Kelly says she thinks it was true. Moon God says he thinks it's true. Okay, right arm. You can't change your answer. It's his, either it's I'm waiting for Ed to say yes or no. I don't think Ed has a tattoo on his left arm. I don't think Ed has a tattoo at all. Michael Thornton, 9203 on YouTube. You say Donald Trump 2028. What do you mean by that? Ed, wakey. Ed must have went to get a cup of coffee. Anybody else having TikTok problem that keeps kicking me out? Really? I was right. Well, let me see. I do not on the left, not on the right, nowhere. I knew I was right. Ed does not have tattoos. I knew he just didn't strike me as someone who has tattoos. That's a good one to start off. Okay, Nicole, it's your turn. Tell us something about yourself or something you do or don't do. Give us a statement and we get to decide whether it's true or not. And then Kelly, you can be next. So be thinking about a statement that's either about you or not about you, that's true or false, and put it, don't put it in the comments yet, but be thinking about it. Nicole is fixing to post hers now. Go ahead, Nicole. It's your turn. This is a way to, for me, that's right. He's what I call a lame duck president. And at the end of this term, he's done. That's in the Constitution. I don't care what he says. I hadn't heard him say that in a while, but yeah. But we're not really talking about, let's don't talk about politics today. We've been doing that a lot lately. And I got a flag yesterday, and I don't know what we were talking, but I got a little nasty note said that TikTok thought I was they were going to block me because of hate speech, but I don't think I was saying anything about hate speech. I'm sure it was the AI, and you can't argue with the AI and ever win. Okay, so here's Nicole's question. Nicole's question, or her statement is, she claims to be a high school teacher with 4 kids. Y'all think Nicole is a high school teacher with 4 kids? That's a tough one. That's right, Elizabeth, you're correct. I used to be a high school teacher with 4 kiddos. What do y'all think? True or false? Do you think Nicole was a high school teacher with 4 kids? Now, I've never met her. She's only been joining the live. I'll say that's true. Ed thinks that's true. I would have to agree with you too. I say true. She's probably laughing at us. Kelly Rosenthal says false. She does not think that she was a school teacher with 4 kids. And it is true. She was a school teacher. Nicole, what did you teach? What grade did you teach? I love school teachers. You know, I think everybody that's gone to school had at least one school teacher that you remember their name. And I have one, and it was my 3rd grade teacher. Her name was Miss Williams. Such a sweet lady. And of course, being in 3rd grade, I thought she was pretty old. She probably was like 29. I don't know, but I think she was probably older than that. Oh yeah, we're not done. Mowing God, Mowing God. Here's Mowing God's question. It says he was a male stripper. Y'all don't believe that, do you? Nicole says that she was a 10th grade biology teacher. You know, I can tell you a story about a biology teacher. Dave, you can't answer mine. Okay. So Morning God says he was a male stripper. Do y'all believe that? True or false? I'm going to say false. Kelly says true. Anybody else? Got it? True or false? Morning God says true. It was true. Huh. How about that? I wouldn't have thought that. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. A little insight on Mowing God. He was a male stripper at one point. How about that? We all had a crush on at least one teacher. Yeah. Jason, so here's the story. What I was going to say about teachers and why I like teachers, and especially now, not everybody is a good teacher, but there are some really good teachers that I feel like stand out. And I think everybody has one teacher, if they don't remember any of them, especially once you've been out of school a while. I remember my 3rd grade teacher, and her name was Miss Williams, and she was really a good teacher. Ruled by Saturn, what up? Thanks for joining us this morning, Jesse. And the reason I remember her is because in 3rd grade, of course, that's when we learned all our multiplication and division and percentage, different things that I guess just mainly the 2 that I remember is learning how to multiply and divide and not using a calculator. And you had to memorize your multiplication tables and your division tables. Anyway, but what I really remember her special about is I'm left-handed. And when I was in elementary school, I had multiple teachers not allow me to write with my left hand. They wanted me to learn how to write with my right hand. And I did. 1st and 2nd grade. Back then, they didn't really have kindergarten. But in my 1st and 2nd grade, I was forced to learn how to write with my right hand. I still can't. I can write some, but I'm predominantly left-handed. I do some things right-handed, but writing is not one of them. And she was the first teacher that never made me sit on my left hand and write. That was the thing back then, is they'd make you sit on your left hand and learn to write with your right hand. I had a couple of friends that were in some other classes, and they, to this day, they write right-handed, but they were left-handed when we were in school. They just had teachers that forced them to learn how to write right-handed. They don't do that anymore. You know, I don't know where that even came from. But that's why I remember her, because she let me write left-handed. And ever since then, from third grade on, I've always been left-handed as far as writing. And then here's the story about the 10th grade, you know, Nicole being a 10th grade biology teacher. I had a football coach for biology, and oh my God, he was a character, is Coach Morgan. And he carried around a paddle. I know you don't see this in schools anymore, but he had a paddle. It was about, you know, I don't know, not very big, but big enough. And he had a pair of stick-on red lips right on the paddle. And he carried it in his back pocket, and he called it Hot Lips. That was the name of his paddle. And you know, back then, if you just look sideways, they could make you put your hands on the wall, and they'll just give you a quick lick or two on the hiney with their paddles. You know, if it was the principal, you had to go to the principal's office. But coaches, man, they'd stop you in practice, the gym, just wherever they thought. And his big thing was to pass biology in his class, he collected bugs. And if you happen to, during his biology class that semester, if you found a bug that he did not have in his collection, he automatically gave you an A. Now, it didn't keep you from having to do the work or take the test or any of that, but you knew if you brought him a bug in his collection, he would give you an A. And he did. He gave a lot of people A's, because, you know, I mean, people, you tell a kid, find me a bug that I don't have in my collection. And he had a pretty vast collection, but there was probably 2 or 3 of us that found bugs that he didn't have. And so that's how I passed biology, with an A. I found a bug that he didn't have. So, and the other thing that he liked to do, I'd walk in and he'd say, and of course I was an athlete in high school, and he'd say, Dunnigan, come over here, put your hands on the desk. And I'd be like, Coach, what did I do? He said, just come over here and put your hands on the desk. So I'd go over there, you know, put my hands on the desk, and first, you know, just he'd wail on me one time, pow. He said, you know, and he'd always holler, meet Hot Lips. And I'd say, Coach, what'd you give me a lick for? You know, I didn't even do anything. He said, just in case you do. Now go sit down. Now, teachers could get away with that back then. They can't get away with that today. But there's my 2 teachers that I remember pretty vividly from when I was in school. And I think everybody does. Sure. My teacher wore a Daisy Duke shorts. It was a diversion for her. Yes, I'm guessing that was in high school. Rule by Saturn makes sense. There are not enough left-handed pencils. Oh, that's too funny. Okay. All right. So let's see here. All right, Kelly, tell us your true or false statement about yourself, or something you've done, or we're waiting. This is going to be a true and false statement. And Jaron, you're next. So let's let Kelly post hers, and then we'll, LL must have went to school in Texas. I did go to school in Texas. Yes. That's funny. You must have went to school in Texas. Absolutely. I don't know where all my TikTokers are. I guess they're sleeping in. So Kelly says, I'm neighbors. So here's Kelly Rosenthal's deal. Says she's neighbors with the late Robert Miles. Does anybody know who, unfortunately our school closed at the moment, asbestos? Yeah. Yep. You know, one of my first jobs was working for the local school district here. I was, you know, a bus mechanic and driver and stuff. And I was 18 or 19 then. And the building we were in was full of asbestos flooring and the ceiling tiles. It was old when we were there. And I just remember it cost the school district a ton of money because they had to have all that asbestos cleaned up when they tore that building down. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you didn't go to school with your shirt tail out. You would get a quick swat for that, and then they would send you off to the bathroom and tell you get that shirt tucked in. I don't know if I believe that, Kelly, that your neighbors with the late Robert Miles. Does everybody know who Robert Miles is? Come on. Nicole says she thinks that's true. Who else? Anybody else think it's true? Heard the name, but not sure who it is. Robert Miles, the DJ producer famous for the hit Children, passed away May 9th, 2017 at the age of 47 after a 9-month battle with stage 4 metastatic cancer. He died in Spain. I think it's true. Okay, Kelly, tell us, is it true or false? I think it's true. The KKK. I was in 6th grade. My teacher asked for my pocket knife. I left it in my backpack, ran back and got it. But what about today? True, but wrong, Robert. Oh, that's the wrong Robert Miles. Okay. So it's true. I was right. Which Robert Miles is it? If the one I said that's not the right one. What was Robert Miles known for? Anything, or was he just happened to be the guy's name that you live next door to? Heard the name, but not sure it was. I'm waiting for Kelly to tell us who he is. I mean, he could just been her neighbor. And you, hot wings mileage. I like that. I like that handle, hot wings. Heard All right. Here we go. Hot wings, where are you from and what do you mean by mileage? All right, so I had some other stuff I wanted to cover too. Boop, boop, boop. So here's a quick question, and I have a reason down the road, I'll tell you why, but Who drinks Starbucks coffee? Any kind, cold, hot, whatever. Do we have a lot of people that drink Starbucks coffee? Whether you drink it daily or just occasionally or whatever. Mirror. That's long gone though. Okay. He burned people at the cross. Okay. That was a very long time ago. You didn't. Don't mind me. Hot wings. I like that. Michael Young. Hey, how's it going? Hell's no. I have a long time to go. I don't use caffeine. Gives me stomach aches. Starbucks sucks. Can't afford it. Fixing stuff all day. Can't afford it. So, but if somebody gave you, if I was going to do a trivia and give out a gift card or send a gift card, would you say Starbucks would be a good one to send out? Or let's see. I haven't made a decision yet, but I was thinking about like when we do trivia or something, Folgers. Do you know Folgers is the worst coffee they make out there? But if you like it, I always tell everybody, my dad would drink any canned coffee from any grocery store. It didn't even matter. It could have just not had a label on it at all, and he would drink it. He was not picky about coffee. He drank it black, no cream, no sugar, no nothing. Dunkin', some people like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Dutch Bros. My granddaughter worked for Dutch Bros for a while. Okay. I guess it would really depend on what part of the country you're in and what kind of drinks you like. I don't like ice cold coffee. Even when it's summertime, I don't drink iced coffee drinks, but tons and tons of people do. And that was why I was thinking Starbucks. A lot of people that, they associate just coffee with Starbucks, but Starbucks has a lot of other drinks besides coffee. And I was just trying to think of a gift card that, you, in general, no matter what part of the country you live in, there's probably a Starbucks somewhere. And I haven't even fully investigated it yet because I want to be able to just email the gift card. I don't want to have to physically, go get a gift card, put it in an envelope and send it to you, because then it could get lost, or I want to be able to send it to you digitally. So I need to investigate exactly how I can do that, and what type of gift cards. And I just thought about, for some reason, Starbucks popped into my mind this morning. Drinking iced coffee since the 70s. A lot of people drink iced coffee. My daughter and granddaughter, they make coffee the night before, put it in their drink cup, and put it in the refrigerator so that it's ice cold. And then they just add ice in the morning and off they go. How about that? Ed likes Dunkin'. I like Dunkin' Donuts. Some of their donuts are really good. I never was crazy about their coffee, but a lot of people do like their coffee. I've heard we have several Dunkin' Donuts in the area, and I see people stopping in their drive-through getting coffee every morning. I can't have anything but water until 3-8. I miss my iced tea. Wow, BMC Kong. Yeah. So I don't know. It's funny. I worked for Coca-Cola for like 12 or 13 years, and I drank Tab, Fresca. Well, first I started off, I drank Dr. Pepper, and I bet in my youth, and of course, when you work for the company, you could get a 10 ounce, you could get one of two things. You could get a 10 ounce Dr. Pepper in a glass bottle, or a 6.5 ounce Coke in a glass bottle for 10 cents. If you were an employee, we had machines everywhere. 10 cents. You could buy, you could drink, and you could go to the dock where all the trucks were loaded, and you could buy a case of 24 for $4 all day long, as much as you wanted. 10 cases, 100 cases, they didn't care. If you were an employee, you could buy it, and that was the price. And so when I was young, I drank. I know in the summertime there were days I probably drank a dozen 10-ounce Dr. Peppers. And then as you age, we all know that all that sugar catches up with you and starts going to your gut. And if you're a guy, or if you're a woman, I guess maybe your hips or whatever, it's just not good for you. Your son works for Coke. I feel sorry for him. I don't have anything good to say about them. I'm not sure. When I first went to work for them here in Austin, it was a family-owned franchise. And then, of course, now corporate's taking it over, and it's probably a lot different. It's probably better now than when I worked for them. But at the time, it was one of the better paying jobs. But man, they put you on salary and expect you to work 70, 75 hours a week, weekends, holidays, nights, it didn't matter. And they just worked us to death and didn't really pay. The pay sounded good, but when you figured out all the hours that you worked, and it was just manual labor. Back then they had 32-ounce glass bottles in a 6-pack, and everything was in glass. Even when they first came out with now they have a 16-ounce bottle and a 20-ounce bottle, but they're plastic. But back when I was doing it, they were glass, and so we were constantly dealing with broken glass, and the glass added weight, and so a lot of people had back issues. It's just it was a whole different ball game back then. But I went from drinking sugar soft drinks to diet soft drinks, and now I drink no soft drinks because once I got about late 40s, early 50s, I couldn't sleep at night. And so, of course, the doctor always says, well, let's cut out your caffeine. So, and two, when I was drinking Diet Coke on a regular basis, I'd be drinking soft drinks sometimes up till right before I went to bed. And I slept like a baby, didn't have any problem. But as I aged, that really, no, I do not have, I am not a diabetic. That's one disease, they call it a silent killer. And my brother-in-law has it. I know people who do have it. And it's not anything I want to have anything to do with. I've had a couple of friends that had it. One had a stroke and died from it. Other one had a heart attack and died. And so, nope, I don't want anything to do with diabetes. So now, what do I drink? I drink water, and water. And I don't drink tea. The only caffeine I drink every morning is, let me see if I'm going to try to be as honest as I can about how much coffee I drink. So I make a 12-cup pot of coffee, and my wife drinks a cup and a half maybe, and I drink the rest. And I do it every day, 7 days a week. So is that a lot of caffeine? Yeah, it probably is a lot. I don't put any sugar in it, just coffee and cream. And I use heavy whipping cream in my coffee. So that's what I have in there. And that's my caffeine for the day. So usually by 8:30, I'm done with the caffeine, and I drink water the rest of the day. And of course that helps. That helped. If occasionally, once in a blue moon, so somebody will catch me off, and I'll have a glass of tea at supper time if we're out somewhere. Rarely, but it has happened a time or two, and I'll be up all night. I won't get any sleep, so I just try to stay away from it. Heavy whipping cream is a lot of sugar. No, doesn't have any sugar in it, and doesn't have any carbs in it either. It's I started drinking heavy whipping cream in it when I was on the keto diet one time, and that's what they recommend. Boop. But yeah. But no, and and the reason I could drink it black, but the dentist says that you should put cream in your coffee because it keeps it from staining your teeth as bad. I don't know. Yeah, a spoonful of vanilla in the coffee. The one thing I do drink in my coffee is cinnamon. I sprinkle cinnamon on my coffee grounds before I brew it. So all my coffee has a little bit of a cinnamon taste. Cinnamon's supposed to be really good for you and help control your blood sugar and all that fun stuff. High fat is cream. Yeah, true. Cinnamon in a coffee is good. Dude, y'all ain't gonna believe this. So guy that I worked with, his name's Jason. And he knows I've been doing these lives for quite some time, and he's always telling me how he's going to pop in one of my lives. I was like, yeah, sure you are. Well, today on YouTube, he has actually popped in on the live. And so I want everybody to give, and his handle is KJ Show 4173. And he is definitely a coffee drinker with me. We've worked together for probably 10 years, hand in hand at our other job. And of course, in the layoff, he got laid off just like I did. But he has actually joined us on YouTube this morning. So everybody give him a shout out. Hit those hearts, all that fun stuff. Jason, thanks for joining us this morning. I appreciate it. We're just talking about drinking coffee and caffeine and that type of stuff. Okay, so here I wanted to do some car trivia today. So here's the first question. Are y'all ready? Here's the first question. Demu, hello, how you doing? If you're new here, let me know where you're from. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Okeechobee, Florida, dropping in. Hey, the Sunshine State. Anyway, so here's my first car trivia question. The first speeding ticket. How fast was the person going when they got that ticket? How fast was the person going when they got a ticket? Oh, okay. Let me read that again. How fast was the person going when they got a ticket in 1896? How fast were they going? Ed says 15 miles per hour. Any other guesses? How fast were they going when they got stopped for a speeding ticket in 1896? Michael says 7. Amy Small says 20. Ed says 15. Okay. Michael, you were the closest to it. The average speed limit then was 2 miles per hour, and he did get a speeding ticket for going 8 miles an hour. How about that? Okay, here we go. Here's the next question. The Chevy Nova. Does everybody remember what a Chevy Nova was? The Chevy Nova myth. and this is a true or false question. The Nova sold poorly in Mexico because Nova means it doesn't go. Is that a true or false? Rule, no go. I'm going to read the question again. The Nova sold poorly in Mexico because Nova in Spanish means, is the way I'm taking that, doesn't go. Casey, what's up, man? Good morning. Casey is correct. Everybody that said false is correct. Nova does not mean it doesn't go in Mexico. And actually, the Chevy Nova sold very well in Mexico. How about that? Okay, here we go. So here's the next question. Which car company invented it and then gave the patent away for free to save lives? And we're talking about the 3-point seatbelt. So the 3-point seatbelt, what car company invented it, then gave the patent away free to save lives? Who did that? Come on. Let's see what your answers are. Here we go. True. Saturn said true. Amy said true. False. Amy. Ford. So the first, Amy says she thinks it was Ford. The renowned unicorn said General Motors. That wasn't so GM. Michael said Kaiser. Casey said Chevy. Ed said DuPont. Check this out. Who would have thought it was Volvo? Volvo designed the 3-point seatbelt and gave the patent away to save lives. Huh. I didn't know that one. Whoa, look at that. Jason, don't do that, dude. So, hey, everybody, I need to say something about Jason because we are good friends. But, you know, he's out still. I'm not going to report you, Jason. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. I'm trying to hit that little heart. There we go. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you. We need to get together and go get some breakfast or something. What was I going to say? So Jason's still looking for a job, and I think he may have actually gotten one yesterday. But everybody put your good karma his way so that he does find a job, because you know when you're the either sole provider for a family or you're the sole provider for yourself and you get laid off from a job that you've been at for he'd been there 8 or 9 years, 10 years maybe, and if you don't work, you don't eat, you don't pay the rent, you can't make your car payments, all of that. And right now the job market's pretty tough. So everybody add him to your prayers and send him some good mojo. And I talk to him pretty regular. So he's got a lot of he's got his hands in a lot of different things. So, but he's got one that's probably going to get the job. I hope it comes to fruition and turns out good for him. So any positive vibes his way, I appreciate. Okay, so here's the next question. It's called the frunk. Are you ready? The frunk. Which famous rear-engine car is known for having the trunk in the front? And it's called the frunk. Which famous rear-engine car is known for having the trunk in the front of the car? Casey's in Little Rock waiting to get loaded about 8 a.m. to deliver to Houston for Thursday. Oh man, you're gonna be close to home. AMC. AMC, no. Volkswagen. A lot of people, and you're all right that mommy's vodka tastes good. Really? Come on. And you're right. So, but that's not the only answer. So the answer is, so everybody that said the Volkswagen, that's correct. The Volkswagen did have the trunk in the front and the engine in the rear. But the answer, or what it says the answer is, Porsche 911 or VW Beetle. So if you said VW, that's correct. But also the Porsche 911 was part of that too. What is the best selling? So here is a world's best seller. What is the best selling car model of all time? What is the best selling car model of all time? And ruled by Saturn. Yep, that was correct. That was absolutely correct. Best selling Ford. It says Ford. Michael said the VW Bug again. Casey says the F-150. Ruled by Saturn says the Caravan. Anybody else? Anybody at all? Got a guess? So far, we don't have the right answer. I can tell you that. No other guesses? How about the Toyota Corolla? The Toyota Corolla is the best-selling car model of all time. Toyota Corolla. They are very good cars. I got one for my granddaughter to drive. Amy says I'm stumped. Oh, yeah. You know, if you've never driven a Toyota Corolla, they drive really well. They're a small car, but a great entry-level car for a high school student. They don't cost, well, I mean, they cost more now than they ever have before. So here's my question. Do you believe the first new truck that I ever owned, brand new, off the showroom floor, cost me $4,000? And that's true. It cost me $4,000. Now, I want you to tell me what make and model truck was that. I paid $4,000 for it, brand new, off the showroom floor. Anybody got a guess on that? Come on. Get your fingers to tapping. If you're on, come on, no guesses? Stumped you. I should know. You should know. A 1970 Chevy truck. Those were good trucks. I like that body style in 1970. A Ford Fairmont. I did actually, my parents owned 2 Ford Fairmonts, and they were really nice cars. No, morning. A Ford 78. No, okay. So it was, I'm trying to think the year model. So it was a 1983 Mazda pickup. Didn't have a radio. It did have air conditioning, and it was 5-speed or 4-speed on the floor. Stripped down version, $4,000, right out of Roger Beasley Mazda here in Austin, Texas. Very good truck. And I'll tell you a story about that. At that time, I was working for Coca-Cola then, and I also worked for the Austin American Statesman I had a paper route. How about that? A big one. And it was out delivering newspapers rurally. So I drove a lot. And I just finished the route and was coming back to the depot, and a storm hit, a bad one. I pulled up to a four-way stop, and Jason will know where I'm talking about. None of the rest of you will, but it was at Cameron Road and Runberg, which there's a red light now, but back then it was just a four-way stop, or three-way stop really. And golf ball size, golf ball initially, and then softball at the end. Hailstorm hit. It lasted about, I don't know, it seemed like a long time, but it was probably like maybe 6-7 minutes. And when it was all over, it ripped off the mirrors. It shattered the windshield. It knocked out the driver's side glass, shattered the rear window. And there was not one place on that truck that you could put a finger that didn't have a hail dent. So, of course, the insurance company, I think I had State Farm back then, they totaled the truck. I bought the truck back from them for salvage for $500. And I drove that truck for another 5 or 6 years. And I ended up trading that truck to a cabinet maker for a set of cabinets for my second home. So he built me a set of cabinets and installed them, and I traded that truck for it. So true story. Who would have thought that you could have bought a little truck for $4,000? I had several little trucks. I had another Mazda little truck, and they were great because I had a swimming pool business at one time, and they were great getting in and out and around, and just the perfect size. So I had two Mazdas. And then the last small truck I had was an Isuzu, and it was a phenomenal little truck too. I drove the dog out of that thing. Anyway, okay, on to the next question. Here we go. The first pickup. Which 1925 Ford model was the first factory assembled pickup? What was it called? Rotary engines. Mine had a rotary engine there. How about that? Chevy Mikado. Huh. So Casey, once you get to Houston and do unload or whatever, are you gonna be going home for a few days, or F100? No. Not the F100. I like some of those F100. I like the fleet side short bed F100, but they're really hard to find. I also like the short bed fleet side 1965 to maybe 67, 64, 65 trucks. You can't find those either. Amy says Model T. That's part of it. That's part of the answer, Model T. It was, so the answer is, this is what they called it, the Model T Runabout. The Model T Runabout. Okay, next question. The Power Wagon. Which brand produced the legendary 4x4 starting in 1946? Which brand produced this legendary 4x4 starting in 1946? Yep, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. Rod clicked. Hey man, how's it going, Michael? Yep. Everybody got it right. It's Dodge. I'll go check. Yeah. For sure. All right. Let's see here. What else? What's the next one? Which 1955 Chevy truck introduced the smooth side or fleet side look? So that fleet side look by Chevy occurred in 1955. And they want to know, what was that on? What model? That is what you'd have to come up. The Camaro? Nope. Not the Camaro. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. So the answer was, which I wouldn't have, I would have probably not thought of this one. In case you don't know. Was the Chevrolet Suburban Task Force. That was the first fleet side. And I always forget that Chevy considers, Jorge, how's it going, man? That Chevy considers the Suburban as a pickup. Okay, so here's the next one. Which Ford F-Series, 61 to 63, famously had the cab and the bed as one piece? The cab and the bed were considered one piece. And they want the model. That's what they're asking for. The real fleet side Chevy was 1959. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, like, when I've driven Ford trucks for quite a few years now, but my first truck was a Chevy F-250. No, got to run. Have a great one. Hey, Ed, thanks for joining us this morning. Have a great day. Okay. So it was the F-100, and I didn't know that it was considered a unibody vehicle, and it was the F-100 where the cab and the bed were all one solid piece. How about that? And that's the one thing I didn't know that. Okay, so here's the next question. The square body. This nickname refers to which generation of Chevy GMC trucks? The square body. This nickname refers to which generation of Chevy GMC trucks? And they want the year models. Anybody got any idea? Rusted, dang it. I love trucks. Dr. Lobbenshots, yeah. I work on a cam. 70s or 80s? Michael says 72 to 83. Dude, you're close. Amy says 75 to 82. You're close too, Amy. Tom Foster 19. You look confused. I like that. I look confused. Well, I might be from time to time. You never know. So the answer is 1973 to 1987. Chevy and GMC trucks were considered the square body. And I guess what they're talking about is, if you think about that year model of trucks, it had that square Chevy front end and hood on it. And those are, I like those trucks back then. Any of those Chevy truck models, they had some good ones. But, back in the early, or I'd say the late 50s, early 60s, I thought Chevy trucks, their body styles, I just thought were a lot nicer than Ford's. Some of Ford's body styles in the late 50s and early 60s, they were just ugly. Most like trucks were square in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, Yeah, you're right. Probably were. 721. Hey, real quick, I want to squeeze this in. Of course, I don't know if Mon God's still on or not. Do any of you own a motorcycle or a riding lawnmower that has a battery or electric start? Does anybody have that? Well, what I wanted to show you here is this item right here. It's the battery tender plus. And this is my second one. I've only owned two. This is a newer model. I had an older model of this one. But let me tell you, talk about save you some money. They're not very expensive. And you just hook them up, especially in the wintertime. But I've gotten to where when I get through mowing and clean up, one of the things I do when I'm done for my rider is I hook it to that battery tender. And since I started doing that, my batteries last longer because it doesn't allow them to, get so low that they're dead. And then you have to jump start them. And then you have to hope that you're using the mower enough that it's charging the battery enough. You just hook that up. You don't have to worry about it. It won't overcharge your battery. It's what I call a trickle charger. They call it the battery tender. And I tell you what, if you have a motorcycle and or anything that uses, those small 12-volt batteries, I mean, it could even be a car battery you could hook it to too if it was something you didn't drive all the time. Maybe you had a collector's vehicle, a truck or something that set most of the time and you only drove it on the weekend or once a month or something. Man, those things are lifesavers. The first time, and somebody told me about that, and that's why I got one of them. And they told me about that specific brand. And you never have to worry about, like I said, overcharging your battery. It doesn't get hot. It trickles, I think, at about 1 amp. So if you need something to charge quick, that's not it. That literally is a battery tender. You just hook it up, keeps the battery maintained, and I think that it makes the battery last a lot longer. The first one I got on a brand new lawn tractor lasted me 2 years, and it, I wasn't expecting to have to pay $100 for a battery that's like that. You get a truck battery probably $200 or $300 now, but used to you could get batteries for cars for $100. Now a motorcycle battery or a lawn tractor battery, they're $100. So anyway, I wanted to show that because it's just something that I thought if you had run into the same issues that I have, especially with spring coming up, maybe your lawn tractor's been stored in the shop or the barn or wherever you store it at, and hopefully you don't have to replace your battery. But I had to replace my battery this year, and I'm definitely going to be using that because in the past I've used them. Like I said, I had an older version, and it really made a difference in how long the battery lasted. The last one that I had that type of a charger on probably lasted me 5 years, 6 years. So letting them go dead is not the right thing to do. Anyway, I wanted to show you that real quick. That helps the channel. Now that I showed it to you, YouTube will allow me to tag it in the video as part of YouTube's affiliate program. Guys, it's 7:25. I've got some more questions and stuff that we can do, but let's push that till tomorrow. I want to do some more research on gift cards and what we could possibly do with that. It is Thursday, March the 4th. I can't believe it's March the 4th already. Do you know March the 8th is we have to like change our clocks unless you live in Arizona or on one of the Indian reservations in Arizona that doesn't change times. But pretty much everybody's going to be springing forward 1 hour on March the 8th. So put that in your calendar. March the 8th, we will be springing forward. So we're going to lose, we're going to lose an hour of sleep, they say. It always, I don't know if it's springing forward or falling back that is tougher on me. I think it's springing forward because, you know, we only fall back for like 3 or 4 months and then we spring forward again. So I want to thank everybody for all the likes, the shares. Don't forget to do the one thing that's free on this channel always: like, share, subscribe, follow. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers. It really helps the channel. It helps my affiliate association with different vendors that generate income, and that's what helps keep paying for stuff for the channel, like the move. The super chats are wonderful, the gifts, and I am taking pictures so that I can show everybody what your contributions and support are actually doing, and hopefully that all turns out like I have envisioned it. I really just the fact that if I close the doors, it'll be quiet and it'll actually be air conditioned. The air conditioner I bought too, I don't know, most window units for me have always been kind of noisy, but they've got some new ones out. And I bought this particular brand. It's called an inverter. And what it does, what they're talking about when they say that, is an window unit that has an inverter compressor. The compressor starts out slow and ramps up, and then as it cools in the room, it slows down. A traditional window unit, when you turn it on, boom, instantly the compressor kicks in, it starts blowing cold air, and it doesn't stop until the room reaches that temperature. And then when it does, it turns the compressor off. With the inverter, it runs all the time, but it goes up and down. And by doing that, your compressor and your air conditioner lasts longer, and it uses about 35% less electricity. So it's much more efficient. I think the SEER rating on this window unit's about, I want to say it was 16 or 17, which is supposed to be pretty good. And it's just a simple 110 plug for it. So yeah, I'm hoping that it does. It's a 10,000 BTU, which is kind of an overkill because the square footage, there's only like a couple of hundred square foot. And I think a 10,000 BTU is rated to cool between 450 and 550 square feet. So I beefed it up a little bit, mainly because even though I'm insulating it, it's not probably insulated as well as your home. So that was a recommendation from AC guy of mine that's a friend of mine. Anyway, thank you everybody for your support. Thank you for joining me today. Hey, go do something kind for somebody today. You never know how one random act of kindness can have an effect on someone else. I've had it done to me, and it's pretty, the person giving it, when you're the person being kind to somebody else, you get way more than the person that you put your kindness on. So, but people do remember you for that, and it's just always a real nice thing to do. So go out, be kind today. Come back here 6 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll start the day off with a cup of coffee, a great conversation, and a great group of friends. Thank you, everybody, for your continued support. I will see you back here at 6 a.m. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Jason, big shout out. Thanks for joining us this morning, buddy. I'm going to call you on the phone. Anyway, everybody have a great rest of your day. Casey, stay safe out there. And I'll see everybody back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. Thanks again.